Another big title is releasing day and date on Stadia as it is other platforms. Are we in the cusp of seeing another reaction to this title like we did with Cyberpunk 2077? Is that pushing it too far? Let's talk about it. See, as wow, Outriders releasing on Stadia day and date. SDO Daily, baby. Let's get into it.
Stay sick cause I follow my gut. They say I was pushing my luck. I'ma push me a matte all black truck. Oh, I'm not sorry.
What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with another episode of the SDO Daily here on the Stadia Dosage platform. Do me a huge favor before we get into this one. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when your boy's dropping these doses. I appreciate all of y'all straight up. Y'all know the deal, y'all know the reason, and y'all know the slogan. We are not too proud to ask. Let's get into it. All right, so as a precursor, you heard the bumper. It's right. It's not an April Fool's joke when I say this. Outriders is releasing on Stadia day and date on April 1st. Not a joke. It's not a joke. We're going to read you the headline in a little bit. I just want to say this. As a precursor to where we're at now, we saw Stadia get so much accolades on how Cyberpunk 2077 played on the platform, how versatile it was. And yes, you did get some better fidelity on the PC. Yes, there was ray tracing on GFN and stuff like that, better, richer shadows and stuff like that. But, you know, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. The multitude of people that looked at Cyberpunk 2077 said next to PC, the best place to play it all around for versatility and everything was Stadia, despite it not having ray tracing and all the other stuff. So you run into another situation where it was pretty clear, again, that a big title for 2021 is coming to all other platforms, including GFN. And shout out to them. There's no hate pointed towards them. It's just to show the contrast and why it's important for Stadia to get stuff like this day and date. And again, you're going to have situations to where you're going to get, you might get some better textures, some richer shadows and ray tracing and stuff like that. But with the versatility of Stadia, having a game like Outriders day and date is likely to have a very big impact. As we've talked numerous times, it's important for Stadia to take that versatility, to take all of the acclaim that it gets for its tech, and to put it into fruition, into the gamer's hands in a way that is meaningful. And that is playing your favorite games as soon as they drop, however you want it, with the most versatile system out there. All right. And that is happening once again. Outriders, which is, you know, for all intents and purposes, the biggest, I guess we could call it a AAA game. Biggest game out there, rather. I'll just leave it at that. The biggest game out there to date for 2021 that has dropped is now coming to Stadia day and date. Let's read the article that kind of dropped this news on us like a sack of potatoes, and we'll talk about it on the back end. So you know how we do. Let me tell you something. This is from our good friends at 9 to 5 Google. It reads, Outriders will get same-day release on Stadia as pre-orders open. This is from our good friend Kyle Bradshaw. Shout out to Kyle out there on Twitter doing the damn thing, man. Hey, yo, Kyle, I want to apologize to you on air, brother. I didn't know who you were, and you sitting there dropping all this fantastic goodness about Stadia on 9 to 5 Google, man. Give a shout out to Kyle. Check him out on Twitter. And then check out all of his content, man. Again, great stuff. Anyway, the article reads as follows. Square Enix has announced that Outriders, the latest game from People Can Fly, will release on Stadia on April 1st, the same date as other platforms. For almost as long as Outriders has been known to be coming to Stadia, the RPG shooter has been slated as arriving later in 2021. It was the same thing with Cyberpunk. But, you know, I don't... Again, we'll talk about that in the back end. Rather than having a same-day release, this remained the case even after Outriders was delayed from a February launch to April to April. Today, Square Enix has confirmed that the Stadia version of Outriders will in fact have the same April 1 launch date as Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, coinciding with the launch date announcement. The Stadia store is now open pre-orders for Outriders and shared a handful of screenshots for the game in full 4K resolution. Some of this that they release is as follows. Outriders is a 1 to 3 player co-op RPG shooter set in an original dark and desperate sci-fi universe. As mankind bleeds out the trenches of Enoch, you'll create your own Outrider and embark on a journey across the hostile planet. With rich storytelling spanning a diverse world, you'll leave behind the slums and shanty towns of the first city and traverse forests, mountains, and deserts in the pursuit of a mysterious signal. Combining intense gunplay with violent powers and an arsenal of increasingly twisted weaponry and gear sets, Outriders offers countless hours of gameplay from one of the finest shooter developers in the industry. People can fly. And here goes some pics of the game. You know, my, oh my, oh my. So with that said, it's great to see that this game is coming day and date to the platform. Goes another pick. We go. All right. So they cap off by saying, as Google recently discontinued their plans to publish first-party games for Stadia and shut down Stadia Games Entertainment, it's become more important than ever for Stadia to get games the same day as the competing platforms like PlayStation and Xbox. With today's announcement, it seems that Google is indeed putting in the work with their developer partners to ensure Stadia is not a second-class citizen for upcoming games. And then I opine back to what I was babbling about before we went to the article. Look, people, as we told you time after time. Shout out to Cyndi Lauper. This was a move. The SG&E move is as jagged of a pill as it was to swallow. As much of a shame as it was, and how much out of order and a little discombobulated the fact that Google even started a first-party development in the first place so early, when Xbox and PlayStation never tried to something at this extensive of a venture earlier on. It took PlayStation decades to get to the first-party development guru status that it's at. It's took Xbox decades to start acquiring studios the way that they had. Google tried to do it out of the gate, and they bit off more than they could chew, and they realized it. They realized that the apex of the experience right now is getting games day and date in people's hands with the most versatile platform out there today. And no other way to do it but to put the biggest and best games out there on the platform day and date. And for the most part, Stadia has done that. Let's go all the way back to the release. You know, it got Doom Eternal day and date. I mean, if you look at the game spanning between the release of Stadia till now, they have shored up a majority of the biggest and best games out there. Not all of them, but a majority of them that are fathomable to be playable on the platform. I'll explain that. First and foremost, they got Doom Eternal on there. A critically acclaimed game, multiple award winners or nominations for Game of the Year and so forth. They got Marvel, they got the Marvel game out there. That was a big ticket game. They got NBA 2K21 out there, day and date, okay? Then they got Cyberpunk out there day and date. And now they're getting, then they got Hitman, day and date. And now they're getting Outriders. I mean, this is what I want you guys and gals to do. Go and look at the vast majority of big ticket AAA games that are releasing multi-plat and tell me if most of them are checked off to be released on Stadia. Yes, Call of Duty isn't there. Roco isn't there. You know what I'm saying? But Roco is more or less a game that people didn't realize or didn't know at the time that things were being developed for Stadia and how big that game would be. And now that we know that the game is big, you've heard talks of Persuasion that they're very interested in coming to the platform, and hopefully that'll be happening soon. But all the big ticket games, even though Stadia just opened its doors to development mid-2019, All of these big ticket games, they're being worked on, they're being ported. And even though they said later in the year, I believe that it was still coming day and date. That was just Stadia's way of working with the developer, and the developer said, we can't make you no promises. We got to make this game first and foremost for our big money makers, and then if we got enough time, we'll slot Stadia in, right? I think that was their way of creating that cushion. Stadia likes to have that cushion after the football they went through at launch. But it is possible that they were told, this is coming later. And with the closure of the SG&E effort and the releasing of funds, they took that money and they said, look, we are now reshaping what we're doing, and we're becoming more of a support mechanism to help you bring these games to our platform. Kind of like what Xbox is doing with xCloud. Xbox goes to their developers and to their partners and say, look, we're going to do all the heavy lifting to bring your game to xCloud. Our engineers will do that. Stadia is looking to do the same thing with the more versatile platform. So again, hopefully announcements like this, even though these deals were etched in the stone earlier as far as the game coming to the platform, but hopefully things like this coming day and date help you understand why, to take a bigger look at the amount of evidence that is out there to support the fact that this is not a wind down. This is just a allocation of resources to have more things happen like this. Big ticket games coming to Stadia day and date to our delight and joy. And man, oh man, I am delighted and I'm full of joy after this one. With that said, that's it from your boy MM2K. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below, because like I always say, who cares what I think? But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. Those links will lead you to the Broadband Bullies, PTS Network, Hard Knock Digital Culture, and yes, the Stadia Dosage. With all that said, enjoy, my friends. You all have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.